Hello, welcome to my floss tube. My name is Kate. Pronouns are she, her. I go by Petronella Rose on here and on Instagram. Welcome to a slightly late, very chaotic, weird WIP Parade 2026 plans something video. I filmed all this, so it is Thursday the 8th of January. I filmed all this on Saturday. And then I got to the end, uploaded it, took ages to upload it to my computer, went in to have a look at editing it, discovered that my microphone died 4 minutes in. So instead of an hour and 22 minutes of me showing you everything, with sound, you had 4 minutes of me showing you a couple of things with sound, and then an hour and 18 minutes of silence. So I swore a little bit. And I went into the garden and threw a mug, which we own mugs that are trash mugs, purely intended for when I'm having a bad day. It's very stress relieving. Threw a mug, then refused to film this until I actually felt in the mood for it. And today's the first day I feel in the mood for it. So here we are. It's going to be slightly less chaotic, partly because, she said, grabbing a box. This box here contains all the projects I started in 2017 as part of Ink Circles Mania that I was doing. Okay? And they're all the ones, none of those have been touched forever. And none of those are ones I'm planning to work on this year, so I'm not going to bother getting them out of the box. I'm just not. What I am going to do is wobble you. I do apologise. And put that down there. So it's out of the way. I have the list. Box of tissues. I have the list in my bullet journal from 2017, which has the list of everything that I did, which I think Little Alien Schoolgirl is finished. You've seen that if you've watched these before. Reflection, no, that wasn't finished. Reflections of Canada was finished because it went to my sister as her wedding present, as a wedding present, and I finished Lobster Bouquet this year. There are ones on here that you will see. Insert picture, editing Kate. Insert picture, editing Kate. There are ones on here that you will see that I have. When I went through that box the other day, I went, oh, I want to work on those. So I've pulled those out. There might be ones in there. There will be ones in there that you already know exist. Anatolia, Turtles All the Way Down, 99. Otherwise, there's bits of freebies and bits of small things and some stitchy box stuff and various things like that. But none of them are ones where I'm like, oh, I want to work on that now. The ones that are, oh, I want to work on that now, I've pulled out. But they haven't been touched at all. So I was going to try and make this like WIP Parade, everything I've worked on in 2025. If you watch the last one, you know what's been going on. I couldn't do it. I'm downstairs. Welcome to a bit of my living room. Things are falling on me because I filmed this on Saturday sitting in front of the Christmas tree, which is over there. And then obviously that didn't work and I can't sit on the floor again. And all my stitchy stuff lives pretty much downstairs because it's where I do most of my stitching, and I couldn't take it all up to my office to film, to bring it all back down, because I'd be exhausted. As it is, you're lucky you get this. Yes. So this last year, for this year, in an attempt to get more organised, I had moved all my little notes, floss tubing notes, cross stitching notes, into its own Atoma ring bind thing. They're fabulous because you can take the pages in and out and change them wherever you like. It's a disc bound one. So we have my tracking from last year where I was sewing, trying to stitch every day, and that stopped when I got horrendously ill. And last year's WIP Go. And this year's WIP Go, which is not yet fully filled out because I want to leave a space for when I spot something else and go, oh, I didn't write that down. But it is what it is. Let me put that there and put that there. Let me show you a sign that's on the bookcase over that end. There are one big bookcase, two small ones, a big one, a narrow one, a big one. That's the length of my living room. This lives over there, but here you are. Have a thought for the day. Thought for the day. Yeah, be happier than a seagull with a stolen chip. If you can. If you can. I'm working on it. Today's a positive day. After Saturday and the failed recording, I spent Sunday sulking. And then I spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday not sulking but feeling awful. I've just started week 2 of second cycle of chemo, so I'm mostly feeling sick and often feeling tired. You get me now at 4:45 in the afternoon. The other thing I bought in an attempt to stay organised but not on topic was this. It will not fit. It has like a works in progress pages. It won't fit all my projects in there, but I'm using the calendar to write down what, because I work on more than one thing a day sometimes if I've got the energy, so they're getting written in there. I'm trying to keep up with that. Projects, I guess. There's a very big tower of boxes here, and I'm putting stuff on top of it, and I have to take all the stuff off the top of it to show you what's in the boxes, but I have to clear all the stuff off the... Let's just show you things. Okay, first up, from the rescued from the ink circles box that I want to work on, I will put pictures in for all of these probably because they're going to be shiny and stuff, is chalkboard mandala, which I started, and there will be crinkly because Kate. This is on a piece of ink even weave from Sparklies. And it looks like that. That looks very blue. It's not that blue, but yeah, that's where we started on that one. I have natural dinky dyes silk, and then orchid as well, which I think is intended for doing... There's some hearts in the pattern and some little arrows and stuff, which I think I'm intending to, when I thought of it and started it in 2017, I intended to do that. So there we are. Yeah, it's not as blue. I don't think it's as blue. It might be because I'm in black, but that's that. It's darker. Oh yes, speaking of black, I am in my birthday t-shirt that you didn't see last time, which says I ain't dead. I don't know what my microphone was doing there. It's here so I can keep an eye on the light of it, because if it goes out again I'm going to throw another mug. Anyway, chalkboard mandala, I want to work on that this year because it's pretty, and that's a qualifying thing. I can't get it back in the bag. When my brain is being nice to me, it goes, deep breaths, Katerina, which is what my friend calls me. My name is just Kate. It's not anything longer, but yeah. Okay, 1, we got there. Okay, 2, we have Dog Pile by Ink Circles, which is a pile of dogs, as you can see. Again, it's being stitched in DMC. It's on a piece of baby blue even weave, 28 count Jaslyn, which is 9 by 40. Because that's what fits the pattern, and I did before work out which way was up. That way. Womp. So look, I've done loads, absolute loads, as you can see. We are here. Have some dog feet. Have the back. You know, that's even worse. Oh my god. I am not refilming this. I'm not stopping. You just get this. Have some dog feet, and then future Kate will put in the picture again so you can see which dog feet they are. Dog paw. I like dogs. You know, dogs are cool. So yeah, dog paw. Eventually. So that's that. Yeah, those 2 literally have what I did on them when I started them for that all that time ago. Then we have not an Ink Circles one. This is one that I got out of Cross Stitcher magazine 1,000,001 years ago, which is like Holiday Town. you will have a non. This is laminated. I took the pages out of the magazine and ran them through my laminator. So that's that. Have a sensible picture, because future Kate will take sensible pictures. Although not today, she won't, because after this she's going to have a nap. This is where we are with that one. It is what it is. When I'd started it, I had been using DMC metallic sparkly, whatever the stuff's called, to do the snow on the tree and things like that, and it was hideous and I hated it and I wasn't working on it because of it. So I ripped it all out because it was crunchy and horrible. There wasn't actually that much done. You can literally see there where the holes are bigger. Well, I hope you can. I can when I look at it like that. So yeah, you can see it was not very much at all. And I hated it. I still would like it to be sparkly-ish. I don't want to stitch it on I thought about restarting it. I've done quite a lot. So, I mean, not a lot, but enough. So I don't want to restart it, but what I thought I would do is just use white and then maybe put some snow Petite Treasure Braid in there, or just stitch it in white. We shall see. I'd forgotten I had it. I'd forgotten I had it until I dug out various things and then was like, oh, I could have done that at Christmas. Not that I wanted to do anything at Christmas. Next up is something you have seen before, but like I want to have a picture. I want to start this year, which is why it exists. However, I only have 3 lots of thread, 4 lots of floor, four of the colours. 4 of the 18 colours. Which is why it isn't started yet. But I want to start it. So that's why it exists in my why it exists in this. Why it exists in this. Oh, we have a severe weather warning. How nice. The other thing I am planning to start this year, where I think I should have 2 now that I should go and download, is the Peppermint Purple 2026 Stitch Along, which is black work. I don't think I can put a photo of this in. It's free. It's on the website. You're getting the glare because I can't take this out the thing. It comes in sections, and then the colours are sections, and I'm vaguely tempted to do like January and do it on perforated paper. I don't know. I haven't decided. My brain is not up to deciding anything. But I registered for it. I'm in part of the Peppermint Purple Club. I love black work. I hate backstitch, but I love black work. So that exists. It will be worked on, probably. One of the things I did find when I was going through everything, which you will see because it's in one of these boxes, is one from like 2024. Which isn't finished yet. Yeah. So this is. That isn't. That's what that is. Okay. Group bookmark. We should probably work on that at some point. This is Blackbird Singing by Tiny Modernist, which I have had for ages and ages and ages. It makes me think of my dad. I try and work on it when I can. Sometimes I can't. It wasn't worked on at all last year. It lives in a Q-snap because it's the safest place for it. And that's that. And that's this. And I actually have it as a paper copy, which I think I must have bought from, I don't even know. I think it's got a button. I think there's a button. 2 buttons. I've got the buttons. I've definitely got the buttons. There's a moon and a bird, and they're both on there. I like the Beatles. This is not a song I associate with the Beatles. This is a song I associate with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and possibly Young, because I can't remember if he was there singing on the cover. But that's who I associate that one with. So that's that. That will get worked on. I would like to get that finished at some point, and I'd like to start the group bookmark. at some point. I'm just throwing everything on the floor. We shall get there. We have, something else I would like to start this year, which is the Claire de Lune, which I talked about in my last thing. Yes. I also bought 2 more loon patterns this week. I don't know if I'll start them this year. I'd quite like to, at least one of them. So one of them came from Wild Dragon Crafts. Why is my brain? I'm like, I don't know. Why is my brain? I love it. And the other one was Uncanny Kari, which D20 Stitches put up on their Instagram story, and I was like, buy now. So I have 3 loon bands, maybe 4. There might be a 4th one somewhere, but I can't remember. Anyway, I'd like to start that this year. Who knows? Who knows? We have Blackstone Fantasy Garden by Ink Circles. I do own a lot. I bought a lot of Ink Circles charts physically for a while. This is all the backstitchy. This is the backstitchy one. Future Kate will have left a picture up. There's a needle on this, and there's some thread. That's where we are at the moment. That's where it will be. It lives on its Q-snap because I didn't want to take it off because of the tension. So it's lived on there quite a long time, but there's no stitches obviously underneath. It just has no grime guard on it. The threads for this are the called for threads, which are Carrie's Creation threads, the same as Anatolia, or the same brand as Anatolia, which includes gorgeous ones like this New Vision. The variegation on that one. More elk snout. Always here for elk snout. What's that? Green. Gator green, which looks more variegated on the back than it does on the front. And then a bag full of ones I haven't used yet. I think Carrie's Creation threads are no longer made. So let's hope I've got enough of those. Yes. And it's just on basic white. Which basic white so I got, which is so old the label's faded, because obviously it started in 2017. Yeah, I'm thinking on that one I will do all the cross stitch and then do the black work, but who knows, come back in 2034 to see where we are with that one. Next up we have a couple of things in here. And bear in mind, I've still gone through all these and I still can't remember what half of them are. We have Natasha Romanoff giving you life advice. This contains Ink Circles Holiday Magic, which exists on like a dinky little postcard. This is actually stitched on a sample piece of ink, Ink Lugana, which I got from Sparklies. And I always get this the wrong way up because I always think it should say ho, and it's not supposed to say ho, it's supposed to say it backwards. Sparkly. It says ho to me because I'm looking at it. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be sparkly. Is what it is. That's Petite Treasure Braid in Black Hills Gold. Keeping with the Ink Circles Christmassy theme, we have Darla Squid and Friends. Insert better picture there. This so far has a snail. That's it. Yeah, and the beginning of a doodad. And some wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff as a needlewinder. Yes, I know there's a super weather notification. Shut up, phone. So that's that one. That was a Christmassy thing. I last worked on that Christmas, not even Christmas this year, Christmas last year. No, not even Christmas last year, Christmas the year before. I'm no good with calendars. Right, what have we got here? We've got 2 other projects. This is where I've gone through and pulled stuff out of the box and then yammed them into here, going, we'll work on these this year. We have Turrets and Town by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock here, 5 o'clock. Have a drink. Turrets in Town, ink circles on a really nice piece of opalescent 32 count Belfast linen from Crafty Kitten, which will have come out of a sub box either in 2016 or 2017, and is all the beautiful colours and sparkly. And that's the start on that. Not a lot. It was a day's worth of start. That is done with the thread that is used on Frozen, where it hasn't got the number written down. I own a cone of it, so there's a few things, and I have a cone of black as well. So there's a few things which were both bought in 2017 and are still quite chunky and soggy. If I need a colour to do, when I've picked a colour to do one monochrome stitching with, sometimes it's that one because I've got a lot of it and I like it. So that's Turrets in Town, again with the physical charts. Then we have Dark Shards, which is in 2 bags. Go past me. Complete with a needle. Dark Shards by Ink Circles. I do like my paper. I do like my original charts. Containing some of the aforesaid mentioned black. This is a piece of Violet's 32 count Murano Crafty Kitten. I think there was a dual. I think the sub boxes, I was subscribed in 2016 and 2017, and one of them was flowers and one of them was precious stones or jewels and things. So we've got lots of bits of things that started on those, because I had them sitting around and went through that fabric. That's where we are with that. The colour, it's probably truer on that bit at the bottom where it isn't doubled over. But yes, we're working on Dark Shards. I was doing the black to start with because that obviously has black and then is filled in some blues and greys and antique violets and stuff like that. I hadn't decided what I was doing with those. I think it's supposed to be navy blue. It's actually stitched in, but I'd gone, let's stitch it in black and then we'll work out the fill-in colours later. Because that's what we were doing. In 2017, things have not really changed. Apart from the fact that I can't get anything back in its bag. One food bag inside one plastic wallet. I'm really sorry if this is noisy. I can't. I'm not well enough to do anything with it. If you can't stand it, it was nice to see you for a bit. Please go away. I can't help you. Several plastic wallets and a plastic bag in a plastic wallet and yeeted on the floor. Next up, we have the last of, no, not the last of all those starts, but the last one where I haven't done anything with it for ages, which is Reflections of Paris, which is lemon myrtle dinky dyes for the thread, and Midnight Sapphires 32 count Belfast linen from Crafty Kitten for the fabric, which is darker blue than it looks there. Ooh, that's closer. That's closer, but for all of this, yeah. And Natasha Romanoff again. So that's where that one is. I like these ink circle mandala ones because they're quite meditative when I'm working on them. That's the first pile of stuff from next to me on the floor. Next up, we have things you will have seen that I have worked on this recently, if you've watched other. Yeah, this is Good Witch. It's a Haid quick stitch by Hannah Lynn. Originally started in 2016, 2017, restarted last year, and I'm just doing the black to start with. The whole thing will fit on here, page 1, page 2, page 3, and down. So I'm just doing the black. It lives on here. It lives on here. And this doesn't fit in a box because none of the boxes are big enough. So it sits by the side of the bookcase, immediately opposite. So yes, that's that one. Again, it's quite nice stitching in just the black. Where are we going to put you, love? We're going to put you there for now. Okay. And then her sister, the Wicked Witch. Again, Hannah Lynn, Quick Stitch, Heaven and Earth Designs. I have 4 Hades. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 Hades. I'm not buying any more of them because AI stuff, and also I can't. Full coverage takes me forever, as you will see. So this one is slightly daunting. It's not. There's not quite such an obvious light patch in her hat. I don't know why that looks like that. This is the edge of page 2. All of that needs filling in black for her hat. So I did the bottom bit, and then I've been doing this in stages. The hat continues and swoops off over here. And then again, she fits all on one page. Again, we're going to work on her, do all the black. Maybe leave her as just the black. Maybe fill her in. Maybe fill in specific bits. I don't know where we are with that one. Next up, we have in a gorgeous actual fabric project bag from Cross Stitch Jess. We have one that I started because it was in Cross Stitch magazine and I liked the look of it. Where I have a picture. I'm not pulling the picture out. I cut the magazine pages out, stuck them on put them on the metallic board for dealing with them. And that's where they live. This is also being stitched in the colour that I have the cone of, which is 3808, because this time I wrote it down. And that is like a length for double loop start. Loop start, that's where we are on this one. We've got a bed. When I was first stitching it, I was like, there's a cactus. It's not a cactus, it's a teddy bear. But when I was first stitching it, it didn't look like a bed. It needs a bit of wiggly recharting because I don't like the way the letters look under there. But I'll get to that at some point in the foreseeable future. Again, it's quite kind of easy, straightforward. It's sparkly 16-y, 18-y count Ada. It's the same stuff Frozen is on, which is up next. For that one. Yeet. Frozen by Donor Stitch, which again I've been working on since 2016, 2017. This has been in previous floss tubes. I am working on this page. It's pretty much full coverage. There should be a picture here of it out of the Q-snap for when I moved it. Sorry, chemo is giving me hiccups today. It's horrible. So yes, I'm working on, that was obviously a page break. That's the page break. I'm working on filling in a load of purple. It's quite nice to do. It's like there's a variety in it, but equally you're doing like block colours. There's some white in there that you can't see. It is pretty much full coverage. Like that is covered. That's white stitching. These bits are not. That bit is not. There'll be a big snowflake in there. That's where we are with that one. We're not throwing you on the floor because you are unprotected. We are going to wedge you on the end of the sofa. Next up, we have Gathering Friendship, which was given to me by Dobby, covered in floss. This, I can't remember what the fabric is. I've talked about it last time. This is my chemo project. I'm doing at least a strand a day on this. I've done a little. I started a new bit of thread off today. I'm doing at least a strand a day on this. Every day I'm taking chemo tablets. Mostly I'm filling in this because there's a lot of that. I would quite like to put it on a bigger Q-snap so that I have more options for jumping around, but we shall see. That's where we are at the moment. You can't really see them. You can can sort of see the mottling on the fabric. Yeah, again, that's another Sparkly's one where the colour looked quite similar to the colour for the model sample. The colour on the pattern looked quite similar. The flosses worked. They're all, I've literally just picked this up. The rest of it's all over there. Just DMC. Then we have my third Haid, which I started on my birthday. So this is the first time anyone's seen it. It's Steam Bee by Bridget Ashwood. It is no longer on the Haid website, so it's obviously been retired. I have done this. I did this, started on my birthday, which is now a week and a half ago. And I've done bits of it, but obviously it's tiny stitching. It is on, this is DMC, aren't you? I always want to say it's DMC and then it might not be. Yeah, so this is the DMC 25 count easy guide. 25 count, easy count, easy grid, pre-gridded fabric. These squares are 400. They're 200. Four squares in a thing. 4 squares in a thing. This one is the Zweigart version, so 100 stitches in a square. For that one, so that's what it's going to look like. This is what it looks like now. I can actually see through the fabric on here, so that's quite cool. I can see what I'm doing. So yes, basically it's a center start because look at all that black. The 4 corner pages are basically just solid black. I wasn't dealing with that. I wasn't going to try and stitch this on black fabric. So I thought I'll start from the middle and I will work my way out. And then as in 11 billion years time, when I get to the edges, we'll work out how we're framing it. So the center square is that one. Is that one there? Because I'm trying to fill it all in, but there are like 30 something colors in that center square. And I basically bought, there's like 90 flosses. I basically bought the 30 something for the middle and then the ones that went around there. And then not any if they only needed 1 or 2. Like, I think there's a couple of them where they only need 5 stitches through the entire project. I was like, I'm not buying a skein of thread for that. I'm collecting I've got the subscription for the complete set of DMC from Lakeside Needlecraft. So I'll just pull bits out of there. And obviously, and I also did not buy any black because I have a cone. But that's where that one is. It is coming along slowly. Certainly at the moment because I'm quite tired. So my brain won't let me work on it very often. Then we have, this will be a new start because I really want to start it because I like it, so I bought it, so I'm going to start it. It's not even, this contains the floss. This contains the Q-snap. For it to go on, it is the Mill Hill Riviera horses, complete with glare, by Laurel Birch. It's a very nice yellow, and there are the beads, and that's that one. You might get a picture inserted of that if I can be bothered, otherwise no, because so yeah, that will be a new start. I haven't, as I said, I haven't even put that on the Q-snap. Somewhere we have, they've all ended up out of sync. We also have Embracing Horses by Laurel Birch, which also came from Lakeside Needlecraft, which is also the kit. This one, the fabric made it onto the Q-snap. It's a very nice dark purple. Start that at some point. More likely to get started, it's on a Q-snap. We then have, this is, I did myself last season, I should say. I did a spreadsheet and I put in every single NHL game and every single NHL result, and it looks like this. Green for wins, red for losses, yellow for overtime losses because you get a point. I liked the fact that you could see like who was having really good runs, who was having really bad runs, things like that. And then I did it, and I liked the patterns. The patterns were cool, and I thought I'll turn it into a cross stitch. And I haven't got very far with it at all. got that far with it. If Edmonton had gone on and actually won the Stanley Cup, I might be inclined to finish it. They did not. It was Florida again. Megan did want that, so I was working on it. She's changed her mind. I suspect that is now a UFO. I was attempting to do the same thing with a spreadsheet this year, but I can't. I haven't got enough brain. I am doing a similar one for the EIHL. And Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole had come up with a stitch along for like penalty, somebody had come up with a gridiron grind. She'd adapted it to make it hockey. I'm doing that for ice hockey. It literally only exists as a spreadsheet. It was something like number of stitches per goal and things like that. Mine has been changed to be minute stitching because I don't count my stitches. So it's like 5 minutes stitched for every goal they score and stuff like that. That's all going in a spreadsheet, and I'm also doing that sort of spreadsheet again for the whole season. I'm trying to keep up with the stitching time. The stitching time one I am keeping up-ish with. As in I think I might be an hour and a bit behind, even with being ill. Like I'm timing myself. I've got a stopwatch timer for it, and I'm just adding the time up. And then we work on all sorts of things. I don't work on anything specific. I probably should. Next up, we have Quaternion Creations of Dragons and Apples. Looks like this. I started this in September. It looks like that. Black again. I'm doing the apples in gold. And then these are Crafty Kitten hand dyed in a various collection of this. Some of them are slightly greener and some of them are slightly some of them are greeny blue, some of them are more green than blue, some of them are more purple, etc, etc. And then we're going to fill in dragons on that and eggs on that as we see fit, as we want to. I think that's on 16 count. I can't remember. I know I worked it all out very carefully, what colour, what size fabric it was, and then panicked it was the wrong size as soon as I started it. But it's fine. Remind me at the end to take a photo. You won't. I must take a photo of what this looks like afterwards. So we then have the one I started in the summer for a friend's birthday, when I was absolutely insistent I was going to stitch every single day. So I took this one with me because we were away for a weekend and I was going to stitch every single day. And then I decided to, that's what that is. I am very tempted to do the rainbow colours on it in beads. I might do them, but I also have the glorious Carrie's Creation thread, a rainbow silk. I might use that instead. This isn't silk, this is the cone of DMC Doom. I haven't decided. I might do beads, I might not do beads. I don't know. Again, I had the physical copy. I did actually buy it digitally as well, because then it was easier for me to print it and mark it off. So double the money from me. Next up we have, this is Bayan Cat by Owl Forest Embroidery. I started this in, I want to say 2021. I can't remember. I did Alexi. In fact, the boxes are here because I bought the kits. So one of these contains Alexi the whale, and this is, I call this cat Alpine. I don't buy Owl Forest embroidery kits or buy their patterns at the moment because they're Russian. So I'm trying to. I keep finding cool Ukrainian designers instead and buying stuff from them, which are similar-ish. But I want to finish this cat, so he just needs his bum. Essentially, I think it's just his bum. I don't even know if there's a house on his bum. Nope, it's literally like bum and some fancy bits. I just need to get moving with it. I do love the variegation in their flosses. like I really do. But yeah, because like that house, that's all one colour. But yeah, love the variegation in their flosses, love their colours, love their patterns, hate their government. So we ain't doing that. I may end up just, I don't particularly like the British government either, but I may end up with just British designers because Venezuela, Greenland, really? Anyway, annoy yourself with that later. Two more Quaternion Creations patterns where I have the fabric ready to go. Dragon Whisperer. Again, I would use the same colours on this that I am in the other one. And then the Eternal Goddess story. The Eternal Goddess. This is the storybook. See, I print things. This is the PDF storybook. Then I have the pattern. Again, we've got the fabric in there. I haven't decided. I'm fairly sure I've got some really gorgeous red silk. So we might have to red silk that. But again, Cone of Doom. Next we have, what are you? What are you? Fine Frog Stitching. This is Witch Hat. Again, I probably won't insert a picture of this. This is not started. This is hats. I've got all the threads. I've got a chunk of black fabric. I was going to stitch it 3 times over for me and my besties, whose birthday celebrations I went to the ones in August and then failed on the ones in October. But yes, so that'll be a start probably. Then we have, again, this came from Cross Stitch magazine. I think in that it calls it Contemporary Cat, but I have seen it called Night Cat and various things like that. It's by Vivian Powers. It is available on her Etsy, I believe. I started, again, this is another one where I cut out the pages from the magazine and I laminated it. I can tell you when I started this one because I was pregnant with my daughter, who is going to be 14 in the summer. I had the 3 cats and that was very finished. Here's the picture of the finished one. I finished that. I started this one. This is where we are. Could do with a bit more work. I was working on this year as part of not out of spite, Sal. Hang on. I need paper because brain. So Dobby at Covered in Floss had done an out of spite Sal and no obligation Sal. And this was, I started on this one as part of the no obligation Sal just to get some lengths of thread in. I need to finish like this poor hole in his face forever. It's the borders. The border's killing me. I can't leave the border off. I can't like go, oh, I just won't stitch the border on this one because I stitched the border on the other one. The other one remains unframed because the intention is to frame them together. This one is proceeding slowly because it's back from when I used to stitch in hand. I don't want to put this into, you can see the edge on it. I don't want to put it into a Q-snap or anything else like that because it will screw up all the tension and make the stitches look weird. So going back to stitching in hand again is a challenge. All the threads, bless them, are on my cross-stitch thread sorter from forever ago. But yeah, it's, you know, it'll happen. It's on my WIP go somewhere. It's on my WIP go. Next we have, and we're back to ink circles again. This is the Mysterious Adventure Project. I can't give you a picture because you invent it as you go along. It's mentioned in a previous floss tube. I can't remember which one. Editing Kate will tell you. But basically you flipped some coins and rolled some dice and things like that, and you picked the style of border that you wanted. This fabric is a big piece of Dr. Smith's Tonic by Sparklies. I really like this fabric. You are going to see it at least once more because this is what my turtles is stitched on. So it was basically do your border. I worked out how big I wanted it to be. You do your coastline by rolling a dice, stitching that number of stitches, flipping a coin to say, are you going left or right? Yeah, number of stitches, etc., etc. So I did the coastline, and then I invented a name for it and started putting that in there. There will be rivers, there will be, it gives you motifs to put in, etc., etc. But so far, we are just at a bit of coastline and a name. Part of it is it's like, it is literally a case of pick your own, pick 3 different types of green that are complementary, pick whatever that's complementary. And I never really collected all the threads. It was just do the border, do the C line, and then see where we get to. So eventually something will happen with that. Then we have Ragnarok by Long Dog Samplers, which started a couple of years ago. It hasn't really had any work on it recently. I am doing it 1/1 on 32 count because I had this completely gorgeous piece of fabric. Editing Kate is putting in pictures. Completely gorgeous piece of fabric, and I saw, and then which I'd had for somebody gifted it to me in 2016 or 2017 to do, I think, a Mirabilia or like a Nora Corbett Pixie on, and I never quite got the oomph to start doing any of those. That's not really my sort of thing. I've got a stack of the patterns, but it's not really my sort of thing. And then I thought, oh, will this fit on it? This does fit on it. It does indeed fit on the fabric. I went right across. This is what it looks like at the moment. I am filling in a raven. I did all the way along the top, and now I'm doing the top row of pages across. There's half a rocking horse. There's a rocking horse there. It's delightful, but 1/4. Look at the house. But obviously 1/1, it's also a bit of a pain. It's tiny stitching. On 32 count, I can just about manage. Like, Steam Beat is causing issues because not enough brain power. Good Witch and Wicked Witch are doing okay because just black. This would probably do okay, but it is very small. I just haven't picked it up recently at all. I think the last time I did anything on it was May. Maybe June. I'm not throwing that one on the floor. It's too precious. And then we have this one that lives in my office upstairs, which is Enchanted Dragon Castle by Bothy Threads, which was a kit 11 billion years ago, 10 years ago-ish. It has metallic gold and silver in there, silver for the moon, and then black, lots of black. It's 14 count, pole stitches fabric. It's 3 strands. It lives in my office upstairs, and I work on it if I'm on a team, like Teams training or something, where I don't have to be on camera and I'm just basically sitting there listening. It helps me listen, and then I just fill in. Like, all of this will be filled in black. I've just gone around the edges to do interesting bits, and then I can just fill without counting. So that's that one. Okay, we've finished the sofa pile, which means we are going through the boxes. So just give me a minute to relocate all the things I had on the boxes. I don't know what I'm going to do. Ooh, that's all the microphone spare parts for when they decide to actually in work. Because really, that's that. Okay, so we're going to work that out. That's Anthony telling me just how hard it's raining where he is. How nice. It's 5:30 now. Times are hopping on. I have no idea how I'm going to deal with this. Stuff it. Let's pick it up and go. So this is what a lot of my projects live in. These are really useful boxes, 11-litre ones. They fit a nice Q-snap. This is Quiet Town by Leonid Avramov. This is the my fourth and final Haid. We're getting there. I've done a whole page of it in 1100. Again, this was started in 2016 or 2017. I did calculations at the time that said if I do 400 stitches a day, which is basically fill in a square, it would take me 656 and a quarter days to finish it. But if I did 400 stitches a week, it would take me 12.62 years. I obviously haven't even been doing 400 stitches a week because we're quite close to 12.62 years and I've only finished one page. I did start, this originally was started with parking and all that fantasy stuff because I do it on paper and paper looks like this. Yeah, no. So I tend to pick a colour, do a colour till I get fed up with it, or till it runs out. That's the bottom. So that's page 1, and then pages there. That exists. The fabric in that. That is a finished size 25 inches by 16 3/4 inches. Yeah. So it exists on that contains all the spare fabric off to one side, which I bought from somewhere that I don't think makes grime guards and stuff anymore. So that's that. Most of its floss is actually in a floss box. When I bought it at the time, I bought the thread cards from Haid, and then these are some of the spare multiple flosses, so they're not on things. So there's a lot of blues and things that there are multiple skeins of, but I have all the thread for that. Next up we have, oh, I'm so sorry. Hi. Next up we have another box. Is this one of the new ones? No. I bought some more boxes recently. My house is boxes. This is Anatolia by Ink Circles, which is being stitched with Carrie's Creation threads. You get it on the Q-snap because, yeah, you can see that's the whole top of it's done. I finished a page that wasn't quite a page because it was a narrow page, and then started working over. I want to work down because I'm very aware of, if I do that, then I can give you the picture of that side. I'm very aware of that chunky bit at the bottom. This is the one that contains gallons of moose drool and elk snout as colours. I love it. I just don't work on it often enough, as with so many of my projects. This helps because I get them out and look at them. It keeps me accountable. I need to move the witches because they're going to fall over in a minute because I'm getting through the boxes. Here's one of the new boxes I bought some I want more 11 litre boxes, and they only came with the really big lids, which is fine because then I can fit 3 projects in instead of 2. This one contains turtles all the way down, which is an Ink Circles design. It is an adapted one. It's however many turtles. It's a full massive drop of fabric. This is Dr. Smith's Tonic, again, a special cut from Sparkly's. It literally is only the Q-snap. Like you get a little bit of it this side. That side you can't see it at all. Wide, and then turtles. I have taken out when I've moved. I've taken pictures out when I've moved it. I've taken pictures when I've taken it out of the Q-snap and moved it. And I also have a picture from a while ago where it shows the full length of the fabric and the normal size Q-snap on it. This is then a mangled. It's a 7 by 11 because that works. Then we have the one I was doing last year for my Out of Spite Sal that Dobby was doing, which is Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework, which is literally, it's just the cross stitch version. It's just DMC colours, not the dinky dyes, things like that. It's 32 count black linen, even weave. linen even weave, 32 count black even weave. Most of it's hidden on here. It's very see-through, but that's where we are on that. I'm stitching it sideways. It should look like that. I'm stitching it sideways because it's easier, because then I can do a colour. So you can see I've finished all. There's red in the corner. I have a picture from last time, or last time I took it out. So I'm trying to colour complete up, and then I've like gone along a bit. That's the bottom edge. I'm going along a bit with different colours to like mix it up a bit. It's quite difficult because it's the black. It's not great to work on at different points. So it was why it was the out of spite Sal, because it was like, I'm going to finish this because I really want to actually finish, even though I hate working on it. Yep. Box. So that's that. These are all going to fall on me, and I'm going to die horribly crushed by boxes on my own sofa. Makes it's a different way of dying. I'm very tired. You get black humour, Kate, today. Then we have the Extraordinary Birds Sal by Lola Crow, which I was working on last year. This is printed fabric. Looks like that on the front. Looks like that on the back. You can't really tell the difference because of the crumple. Sorry. I didn't get particularly far with it because I am not cut out for stitch alongs where you stitch a section, like where you stitch, it's like, stitch this bird here, great, but then go and stitch over here somewhere, and then come back and stitch here, and I'm like, well, there's like 3 colors I could have. Yeah, it's not for me. I am aware of that. I should be better aware of that. I still want to finish this because it's beautiful, but I want to be able to stitch it and color complete properly in sections, and not be hopping about too much, because that drives me nuts. I think, no, that is not the only thing in this box. The other thing in this box is where I'd said about the peppermint purple Sal. It's even worse than I thought. I thought this was 2024. It's not. It's 2021. So we've got that much of that one done. I've got all the thread. I've got all the patterns. I just need to stick it in a thing and meditatively stitch on it. But again, it ended up away somewhere and I didn't find it for ages, and then I was like, oh, I've got that. Poor neglected thing. I've got all the thread. In fact, I ordered the threads as a thread pack back then. I have all the patterns. I think they're all printed. Just needs doing. We are about an hour in. One box left. Ooh. Another toolbox, but again, it only contains 2 projects at the moment because things are all over the place because of doing this. Yeah, it is only 2 projects. We have 99 by Ink Circles. We're working on this one. That's a complete shelf. Yes, that's a complete shelf. And then we're working on that one. I think it's 11. I want to say 11 shelves, 9 bottles per shelf, but it could be 9 shelves, 11 bottles a shelf. I honestly can't remember. That looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 bottles a shelf. Done 2 shelves. I think there's a couple more up and a few more down. That's that one. This one, there are colour changes. There are obviously lots of colour changes in this, but it is very much a case of I can do, so I'll stitch the shelf, and then the bottles tend to be 1 of 2, maybe 3 colours. So I'd have the shelf, I'd stitch the bottom of this bottle, and then the bottom of the next bottle, and then go along, and then come back and fill them in. So go, oh, this green needs to be on this bottle and like 2 stitches here or whatever. So that one is Then I have Lion King, which was a kit from Cross Stitcher, 2016, 2017. It's by Durine Jones, which confuses me no end because usually I look at her patterns in Cross Stitcher magazine and there's so much backstitch, and I'm like, ugh. But this is supposed to be a cushion. So that's where we are with that. Working on his head. That is finished that side. Working on his head, and then we have to do the just a stripy body and then brightly coloured tail. Again, it's quite nice to work on this because it's literally just block colours, but enough variety to keep me interested. Yeah, that one I think came up as so it was 2 and 7 that were called for WIP Go for January, which is Frozen and Lion King. So he's going to get some work done on him soon. Well, wasn't that fun? That's it. My living room is a disaster. I'll take a photo in a minute when I've pressed stop. Yeah. Not quite sure where to start with the stopping. So anyway, that's a WIP parade and plans, sort of. Everything I have shown you is not everything obviously I worked on last year, but it's everything I'd like to work on this year. Even if it's only like literally my WIP Go board is a minimum of 6 lengths of thread per project. So 6 lengths on Frozen, I think I've already done. I haven't done 6 lengths on Lion King, but Frozen is the one at the moment that's got my, like, I'm like, oh, what do I want to do? I've, do my Gathering Friendship one, and then I'm like, I need something. Oh, I've got a bit of brain. Oh, I'll put some stitches into Steam Bee. Or no, I've got no brain. Frozen. And then whatever comes up in February. We shall see. Yeah, WIP Go board looks like that. As I'm filming this, I haven't put anything in slot 22 yet because I think I've everything. I might find some things I'm editing and go, oh, you should. Why haven't you put that in? You just talked about it. I'm fairly sure everything in the boxes, I think, is on there. So despite the fact 4, 5 boxes, box over there that Steam Bee lives in, box that the Witch's paperwork lives in, 1 empty box. Yeah, I'm fairly sure everything's on there. It's not organised. It's me. It would be organised if I had enough brain to organise stuff, but I don't these days. So that's what you get. I'm going to stop waffling because I need a nap. I might go and rewatch some Heat Rivalry, but I don't know. Put it on in the background while I go to sleep. Soothing Russian voices. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Dobby will have done because she told me she wanted to watch it. So if the only person who watches this all the way to the end is Dobby, then I've succeeded. Probably. Otherwise, I'm going to go away and attempt to upload this and then edit it at some point and then upload it at some point. I don't know. I'll put in the description. Like, it will say when it's, I've told you when it's filmed. I'll put in the description when it's uploaded. You'll know exactly what's what. I'm going to try and film at the end of January. I don't know. I need to find out which weekends. I need to film on weekends, or at least maybe on weekdays in the afternoon after I finish work, because I'm only working part-time at the moment from home. On possibly, like, on days when I haven't got chemo. Like, if I can film on the Monday that is my chemo-free Monday, the Monday is probably, I have to go for a blood test that Monday, but otherwise that is like literally the best mentally I will probably be. So we'll see. I'm waffling. I love you. You're awesome. I hope you liked it. If I've managed to do it, I hope you like my interesting new title, because I had a moment with some ink blocks and a stamp or two the other day because I felt like it. But yes, I hope your 2026 is better than your 2025. Even if your 2025 was amazing, I hope your 2026 is better. And I love you lots, all of you parasocial people in the internet. And I will see you end of January.